How did you use media technologies in construction, research, planning, and evaluation stages? Media technology is used throughout our production, from Googling for research for our genre and the use of YouTube to watch trailers from our genre. Also, the use of IMDb and Rotten Tomato, we found out which movies were the best from our genre, which was film noir. Once getting all the information we had or we needed, each group member put up their research on the website called Weebly. This is how we shared information throughout the production. During the filming stage, we used a DSLR camera, a Canon 60D. The lens was 18 to 135 mm. This camera was used throughout the production and also our ancillary text. After each recording session, we uploaded the footage on Final Cut Pro. The footage we wanted to use, we uploaded to our timeline and cut them to the right size. Cutting the footage was relatively easy. We used the blade tool, which was found on the top. After we used the blade tool to cut the footage we needed, we selected it and put it in a certain place in the timeline that we wanted. We also added an effect to each of the shots that we had. The effect was a black and white or a 50 TV effect found on Final Cut Pro. This effect was to make our idea unique and follow the conventions of our genre, which was noir. After we cut and added the effect to all of our shots, we had to balance the color of all of them. The reason we balanced the color was because the contrast of the shot was too high. There was too much contrast and not enough. It wasn't bright enough. By balancing the color, we made it more brighter and decreased the contrast. Furthermore, we had to add a soundtrack to our trailer. Once we found a soundtrack, we had to cut the soundtrack into bits so we could make our trailer flow better. Because the soundtrack was relatively fast, we had to use 2 soundtracks instead of 1. We wanted a slow start to our trailer and then picked up near the middle and the end. So we had to put in 2 soundtracks rather than just 1. This was hard because we had to find the right place to cut the soundtrack and start the new one. So that balance was relatively hard to find. But once we found it, it really flowed and the pace was perfect for our trailer. We added text to our trailer because we wanted it to make clear and understandable for the audience. Once we added the text, we had to distort the text. We did that with the distort tool found in Final Cut Pro. This let us move the text around as much as we wanted or put it in the right place of how we wanted it. We added voiceovers throughout the trailer because it was a convention of film noir, and we used it to make it clear how the main protagonist felt throughout the whole trailer. We also included a slow-mo in our trailer. This was because one of the shots that we wanted to use was too fast and didn't fit the pace. So we decided to use the slow-mo effect from Final Cut Pro to slow it down and make it flow. For our ancillary text, we used Photoshop. We divided the group into 2 pairs of 2s, and one pair did the magazine cover and the other pair did the film poster. For the photo shoots, we used the Canon 60D that we used for the production. The magazine cover, we wanted to make it different and not part of the trailer or the film poster. We wanted to make it with the actors rather than the characters from our trailer. So we made it brighter and made it stick out. However, for the film poster, we wanted it as similar as we can to the trailer. We also desaturated the image, and we used a different font for both of them. The font that we used was blacklisted on the film poster, which was different from the trailer. We found the font on the website called thefont.com. This font was downloaded and was used for the film poster. For the poster, we had to edit two different photos and make them into one file. So we cut one of the photos and we added it as a layer on another photo. Once we did that, it was relatively easy, and we just put all the elements that we needed together. For the magazine cover, we did the same. We had different elements from different magazines that we found, and we all put them together after the photo and the title was done. For the text from both film poster and magazine cover, we added a 3D effect to the writing to make it stand out and make it bold. This resulted of it sticking out and making the poster more professional as well as the magazine cover.